Hello everyone, welcome. For today's video, I am going to be trying out Pocamarket for the very first time. And I thought that as we ran through the intro, it would be super cute to have this branded screen on my phone. And now that I'm looking at it in my camera, I'm realizing that it's doing a lot of weird, wavy, electro whatever happening on the screen. So to make us not sick while we do this little intro, I am going to put my phone off to the side so we don't have to look at that. But before we get too far into this video, I also want to mention that this video is not sponsored. I'm not sure if Pocamarket does any sort of sponsorships or does any sort of collaboration with creators, but I just wanted to mention that this video isn't sponsored. Everything that I received in my Pocamarket box is something that I purchased and used my own money for. Additionally, the review and all of the impressions of Pocamarket are of my own and with no bias behind it. So I just wanted to make that super clear that this isn't an ad of any sort. It's purely just a review and first impressions and kind of a how-to guide on how to get started purchasing on Pocamarket. As far as I'm aware, Pocamarket is still relatively new. I think they've only been operating for a couple of years. And if you aren't familiar with what Pocamarket is, they are a photocard shopping platform / marketplace that is based and works out of South Korea. And it is an application much similar to Mercari Japan or Bujang, where you can go in and purchase photocards from your various artists, idols, soloists, what have you, and it's only photocards. It is purely just a photocard shopping platform. So the first time I had heard about Pocamarket was about 2 years ago at KCON. They actually had a booth there where they were selling photocards, and also they had a little wheel in which you could like spin and like win a prize or like a coupon code to purchase on Pocamarket. So that was the first that I had ever heard of them. Prior to seeing them at KCON, I hadn't heard about them before, so that's what makes me think that they're not super, not established, but they're just not super old, like they haven't been around for very long. And then since then, I have been kind of like kept up / like in the know about them because I am a big victim of their Instagram marketing campaigns. I get so many ads for them and to like purchase photocards for specific groups. I get so many ads in between stories, in between reels, in between like sponsored posts. Like they are just everywhere all the time on my Instagram feed. And so that's kind of added to the curiosity over the last couple of years as to what the service and what the experience kind of is like with Pocamarket. And so I finally decided to go ahead and try them out. And I knew that when I did go to try them out that I wanted to film a review and kind of like a how-to guide on how to navigate Pocamarket. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch over now to my screen recording from a couple of weeks ago when I was going through the app and making my purchases, and then we will come back here and I will open up my Pocamarket box for the first time and we will give kind of our thoughts, reviews, and opinions. So screen recording, take it away. Alright, so we are looking at the homepage of the Pocamarket app. Getting started, I'm going to quickly run through their About section, and I'll go more in depth through a lot of the key points that they introduce here, but I thought that this would be good to quickly look at this for a brief intro before we get started. So like it was mentioned in the intro, this is a marketplace to buy official and verified photocards. Some of their touch points for their services is that every card is 100% authentic and that every photocard goes through a verification system to ensure the best quality of photocards. You also have early access to purchases, which basically is implying that the transaction is immediate and secured as soon as you pay. So you don't have to worry about purchasing processing times that you might if you were, say, buying through a proxy service or waiting on someone else to purchase the item for you. This is much more of a direct to consumer kind of application. And last is that you can buy photocards and start a collection that you can then ship out as a set whenever you like. Scrolling down, they go into a little more detail about their verification process for authenticity, like running through their quality checklist, verifying everything is official, and then organizing everything into storage. Next is their quality standard, which I think is one of their best guarantees to their customers, which is that every card that Pocamarket is selling is guaranteed to be in excellent condition, and any damage that may be present will be extremely minimal. I feel like that's one of the big downsides to purchasing photocards through services similar to this, is unless stated specifically by the seller, the quality of the photocard is kind of unknown until arrival. But here, Pocamarket is ensuring that every photocard is inspected and its condition is confirmed to be excellent, which as a consumer is something I really appreciate. Photocard's condition, especially depending on how rare a card is super important to collectors and who generally care about the state of the cards in their collection, so I really like that they pointed this out specifically and that this is a key point in their standards for selling. And then last on this page is the process for purchasing, which I will show you how step by step here in a second. Okay, going back to the main page, if you haven't already made an account, before you can start doing anything on Pocamarket, you have to make one. So to do so, you would navigate to the profile button and select the login/sign up button. Here is the list of login options that you can select from. The login with Google is actually a pretty new feature. When I made my account a few months back, this wasn't an option for me, but I'm glad to see that it is now because honestly, the login features felt a bit limiting without the use of Google. So from this, go ahead and select which login authentication you would like to use and then fill in your details accordingly. A benefit to note for new account users is that Pocamarket, at least for now, is giving 2 coupons for new account signups, which include free shipping on 20 plus photocards and also a 50% off coupon for 5 plus photocards. It's good to note though that these coupons are only valid 30 days after your account is made. Alright, so once you're logged into your account, your profile page will now look like this. From this page, you can access the usage guide, which is where their master list of FAQs and important information lives. Back to our profile, as you can see, I already have a small wallet balance as well as a few cards in my collection. Your collection here is actually another term for storage. So these are the cards that I have already purchased and claimed to my account. The reason that these are here is because I had actually started working on this video a few months back, but had put it on pause for a couple different reasons, so these are what I was able to purchase at the time with the amount I had loaded into my wallet, and they're just kind of waiting around until I'm ready to ship them out. Speaking of wallet, let's go ahead and look at that next. So your wallet is how you purchase your photocards. It becomes the fund in which you check out for each of the transactions. And how it works is you load money onto it ahead of time by charging whatever increment dollar amount that you want from the following list. So as you can see, you can charge anywhere from $5 to $300 in a singular charge, but there are a few things to take note of. Underneath the charge amount, it also lets you know of a fee that you will also have to pay. In Pocamarket's FAQ, they list this fee as a processing and commission to the payment provider. So say you want to add $100 to your wallet, you would actually be paying more than $100 because of the fees. Also, you can add more money past the $300, but you would have to make multiple wallet charges, thus also paying multiple fee charges. So say you want to add $350 to your wallet, that means you would have to make a $300 charge with the fees and then do another $50 charge with the fees as well on top of it to then end up with $350 in your wallet. Another fee to look out for is if you choose to use PayPal for your payment method. I am a PayPal girly through and through. I use PayPal whenever I can, so this was something I had to pay each time I loaded my wallet. You can use a debit or credit card, though from my personal experience on other platforms of similar nature, my attempts usually get flagged as fraud from my bank every single time because it's an out-of-country entity that I'm trying to purchase something from. So PayPal is usually a better and more successful option for me, and thankfully the fee isn't too high. It's just kind of annoying that there's another fee on top of another fee that I have to pay for. Alright, so after selecting the dollar amount and the payment method, you'll go ahead and check off their disclaimer boxes and continue to the payment screen. Once paid for, the dollar amount, not including the fees, will be added to your wallet and it's ready to be spent. So, now that we're signed in and we have our wallet loaded, we can go ahead and start looking at photocards. As previously mentioned, Pocamarket has a large selection of both groups and soloists. They might not have like every group that exists or you stan, but I can bet you that there is at least one of your favorite group's cards up and available for purchase. So you can either scroll through the list looking for their button, or you can utilize the search feature at the top to find them. Once you are inside the group you want to look for photo cards in, you'll find that you have a lot of search functions available to you. This is actually something I'm really thankful for, because a couple of months ago, their UI system was not this in-depth or easy to search for photo cards in different categories, so they've really expanded and improved on that area of experience recently, and I think that makes shopping a little bit more easier and also more enjoyable as a consumer. So a few of these search and organizational functions that they have is within the groups you can either search full group or specifically by a certain member by selecting their photo bubble at the top. You can also set different filters to your search, such as price range, the type of photo card, and also other factors like newest, bestsellers, and favorites amongst other buyers. As you can see, you can easily switch between the filters as you're browsing, and it's pretty seamless, so you can hopefully find the card that you're looking for a little bit easier. Like I said, this is kind of a newer system that they put into place within the last couple months. They did have a few filters prior, but they really expanded upon the customization of search that you can do within their app. Additionally, you can search for keywords in the search bar above to get even more specific, like searching for album titles, stores, events, or even locations. Surprisingly, they even have some Japan photo cards up for sale as well. Alright, next let's go into the wish list feature, which is the heart icon at the top. On each photo card listing, you are able to heart the card and it will automatically save it to your wish list. Something that's really helpful is that within your wish list, it will let you know when a card has gone out of stock by graying it out in your list. The listing will still be accessible, however, you will not be able to purchase it until it either comes back into stock or it just kind of sits there out of stock indefinitely. Okay, now that we've run through most of the basics, let's now look at a photo card listing and the purchasing process. So this is what each of the listings will look like. It will give you the type of card, the group, member, and title, as well as its current listed price. Something that is new that they recently added was the next price section, as well as the recent transaction list. To me, these two features confuse me just a little bit, because while you can see whether or not you're getting a good price for a photo card, I'm confused on what they think the consumer will do with the information. Like, if it's cheaper, obviously you'll probably go ahead and buy the card, but if it's more expensive than what the last transaction was, are they just expecting us to wait and check back? The problem with that though is they don't offer any sort of price change notification, so that would be on your end to constantly check back to see if the price has gone up or down. And I don't know, I'm not super sold on this information feature, and I'm not really sure how helpful it actually is. Scrolling past that, we get a suggestion section for other cards the app thinks that we may be interested in, as well as the same product information that we saw in the About and FAQ sections. Okay, so I'm ready to commit and buy this card, so I will select the Buy Now button, which will lead me to the checkout page. There is no cart system, so you have to buy each photo card individually, and this will come with some disadvantages, which are namely the transaction fees. With every purchase, you have to pay a transaction fee, and this is where I have my biggest issue with Pocamarket is these transaction fees, because unlike other similar marketplaces or proxies where most have a flat fee regardless of the price, Pocamarket is actually the opposite and will raise the transaction fee based on what the price of the photo card is. Any card that is below $3.50, at least for USD, will have at least a $1 transaction fee. But anything that is over that $3.50 gets hit with a 30% transaction fee of the photo card price. And so, this poses quite the hefty fee the more expensive a card gets. Moving on though, when you click the little information button next to the fee, it will tell you a little bit about what the charge is for, but honestly not a lot. And it calls into question then how higher cards get inspected any more than a lower end card would, which is something we'll check out in a second because I have some thoughts on it. Back to this listing though, I'm okay spending $4 on it, so I will go ahead and check off their terms and services rules, and then I'll hit the buy button, which will automatically secure the photo card for me and add it to my collection. Surprise! They actually fixed this problem. So this is literally like the day of me finishing editing this video. I went back onto Pocamarket just to do one little last pass over to see if I wanted to mention anything else in this video, and I got this little pop-up telling me that shopping cart was launching and it was a new feature that they had. So no longer do you have to buy photo cards individually like I have showcased throughout this entire video. You can now do a cart, and it's just like any other kind of shopping experience. You basically load up the photo cards that you want into your cart. It'll tell you that you've added it to your cart, and then you can navigate to your cart page and see all that you've added to your cart. And it looks like you can have a kind of inventory in here for about 30 days, and then it will be removed. And it also looks like that price and stock will vary, meaning that it'll update in real time. So if things go out of stock, it'll show out of stock. If the price changes, you'll see a price change in your cart. So that's really, really nice. I do think that this was something that they were greatly missing. So it's nice to see that they've kind of implemented this. And it looks like too that you don't have to buy everything that is in your cart. You can kind of load it up, it looks like. And then if you want to, you can select just a couple of cards to check out with, or you can select all and check out with all of them. And then if you scroll down to the bottom where the invoice is, it'll tell you the quantity that you have selected, the price for everything combined, as well as the transaction fee for everything combined. You still have the same transaction fee for every single card. That hasn't changed. It's just now combined with everything, so you have a total number for all of the photo cards that you're buying all at once. And then same thing, if you don't have money on your wallet, you'll go ahead and charge that. If you do, you can go ahead and proceed. You'll click these 3 disclaimer boxes, hit purchase, and then you will go to that same checkout page that you have for individual listings, where you can then go to your collection, you can go to your wish list, you can go back to shopping. It's kind of the same system past this. It's just this is now a new option for you to shop. You can still buy listings individually if you want. I think it's the buy now option that still just takes you to that single card listing. But now you have the addition of the shopping cart icon and every listing, and just adding everything to your cart and bulk buying all at once. So super exciting to see that update basically in real time in making this video. So that was a lower end photo card listing. So now let's go ahead and look at something that's a little bit more like this broadcast card. Also, yes, Pocamarket does have broadcast and streaming event photo cards, and based on their authenticity and their thorough checking when kind of buying the stock of their cards, it's pretty safe to assume that all of these specific types of cards are official and real and will probably be in great condition. Okay, getting into the checkout page, now we can see where that 30% transaction fee is coming into play, because no longer am I paying a simple $1 fee. I am now up to $8.40 for this card. And if you select the More Info button, you get the same information that was present on the last listing. So again, what is the difference in inspection between the two cards? I really doubt that there is much more that they do, because if they are doing a more thorough inspection, I think it should be for all photo cards and not just ones that are higher end. It feels more like an easy profit scheme that they hide behind a fee. So honestly, if you aren't careful, fees can really eat up a lot of your wallet funds, leading you to not be able to purchase as many cards on your wallet refills. So if you are on a budget, it may be worth your while to go through and select the cards that you want to buy and add them to your wish list, and then go ahead and see how much you'll need to put into your wallet to fill it up, rather than filling up your wallet ahead of time and then finding out that you can only buy 3 of the photo cards you were interested in buying because your fees ate up all the amount in your wallet. That way you have a better idea of what you're getting yourself into. Okay, moving on from all the heavy fee talk, I'm going to run through my wish list here and buy a couple more cards, but there is something that I want to point out so you know, because I personally was burned by this myself, and it has to do with buying cards from your wish list. So if you navigate to a card listing from your wish list and you go ahead and purchase it, you have to make note that that same card that you just bought will still remain in your wish list. It will not recognize that you purchased it and have it disappear. It just will stay there indefinitely until you unheart the card. Like I mentioned, I actually got hit by this by buying the same card twice because I didn't realize they didn't disappear once you buy them. So if you bought the card and you no longer need it in your wish list, remember to deselect it so it'll disappear so you don't make the mistake of buying the same card twice. And you have to be careful to not double purchase because once you buy that card, it is yours and you're not able to cancel or refund the transaction. So you're then basically stuck with this dupe that you will either have to resell or trade later on once you get it. Okay, so I'm going to run through and buy a couple more cards like I said, and then I'm going to see where I'm at. So I ended up running through the $100 I had loaded into my wallet, and I'm left with $1.35. And if we go into my collection, you can see that I have 24 cards. Now, at whatever point, I can request shipping. There is no minimum amount of cards you have to request shipping, but there is a maximum amount of cards that you can ship in one purchase. And that magic number is 40. You are only permitted to ship 40 photo cards at once. Why? I'm not sure, and they don't really expand upon it either in their FAQs, but 40 is your number. It's good to point out though that you can have over 40 cards in your collection. I think the amount of cards you can have purchased and stored is unlimited. Someone definitely correct me wrong in the comments if that's not true, but I haven't really seen anywhere of a specific number that you can have in your collection before you're cut off. So you can go over the 40 card limit when it comes to purchasing. Like I said, you will just have to break up your shipments. If you're trying to ship out, say, like 60 cards because of the $40 limit, you'll have to send out 2 separate packages. So at this point, I had decided that I wanted to fill up my collection to 40 photo cards before I sent this out to me. So I went ahead and loaded up my wallet with another $100 and went back to my wish list to try and buy more cards to meet my quota. And after strategically trying to find cards I wanted for a good price, I ended up with 41 cards. I bought an additional card because I didn't want to ship out the card that I accidentally bought twice. That way I had 40 individual different cards. So now it's time to request shipping. You will go ahead and hit the request shipping button and go through and select all the cards that you want included in your shipping batch. As you can see, I'm leaving out that extra card I accidentally bought and I'm hitting request. Next, it will take you to the checkout page where you will input your shipping and payment addresses and information. Something to note for shipping countries is that South Korea is listed as an option, so I believe you would have the option to send this to your KADI or Korean address if you would like. I'm not sure if you would need to include the Korean phone number to your KADI or your own. I don't have any real experience with KADIs, so I'm unsure of that detail. It may be worthwhile to see what the shipping cost is like if you regularly use a KADI and you are buying from Pocamarket. Alright, so once all your information is in, you will have 2 different options for shipping to choose from. I do think that there is room for other options, but for now, this is what we got. The first option is express delivery, which is probably either FedEx, UPS, or something else that's appropriate for your country, and also K-Packet. K-Packet is kind of like a slower version of EMS. It's specifically an international shipping service that is provided by the Korean postal system. At the time of me recording this, there was an event going on where K-Packet was actually free, but as you can see, it would normally be $12 in cost. Something to be aware of at this point is we also have another processing fee. Yay! For my request of 40 photo cards, I have an additional $19.90 processing fee on top of my shipping. The slight good news is that this price does fluctuate depending on the amount of cards you are sending. The less cards, the less the fee. However, if you are trying to maximize your shipping like I am and are constantly sending out 40 cards, then you will be paying the $19 processing fee each time, which again seems so absorbent for what it actually entails and for all the other fees you've had to pay along the way. But those are just my 2 cents on that. After selecting your shipping method, coming to terms with the processing fee once again, and agreeing to their terms and conditions, you can submit your shipping request. From this page, you are able to review the information that you just submitted, as well as your photocard packing list. And if I go to my collections page, you'll see that the only thing that is left over is the extra card that I purchased. You can also find the package information through the shipping list section, and this is where you can also track the status of your shipment and receive your tracking number. At this point, all that's left to do is either patiently wait for your shipment to arrive or add funds back into your wallet and start purchasing all over again. I was in the first part of that sentence, so let's go back to present day me and unbox these cards. Alright, welcome back. So I have my Pocamarket box in front of me. I have not opened this yet because I wanted to, again, open it for this video. But after I had submitted the shipping request, it took about 2 days for them to like package everything and get everything shipped off to the shipping company. And then it took about 4 days for FedEx to get it to me and delivered at my house. So about less than a week's worth of time had passed between submitting the shipping request and having it here in hand with me. If I had picked the K packet, which would have taken longer, obviously it would have been more of like a 2-3 week time frame. So I will just go ahead and cut through this. I have my address covered here on the top if you're wondering what what the little sticky notes are. This is quite a small box too. It's very compact. So in the inside, we have their little bunny mascot that says, "I brought your bias photo cards." And then it looks like we have an envelope inside of a box. So find your favorite K-pop photo cards here at Poca. And then here we go. So that is all that is inside the box, and that is all for their packaging. It's just this little like plastic case inside of a bubble mailer inside of a tiny little box. So you honestly don't get a whole lot in terms of like packaging slash like protection. Like there's not any additional bubble wrap or like insurance really. It's pretty simple and straightforward. It is kind of nice that you do get like a reusable plastic container. These are always good, you know, for like storing photo cards or something. The little container does have the Poca logo like engraved in it, so they are branded out. And then if we open it up, you see all of my photo cards that I got, and also their little business card. So it looks like you can post a monthly review, and they select 10 winners on the last Friday of each month for a one-time free shipping benefit. So that must be like on their social media and things. And then here are my photo cards. So it does look like they are all either sleeved or wrapped in the original wrapping they came from. These kind of like candy style wrappers I know are from K-Town for you, but everything else, if it's not in a wrapper, is in these little Pocamarket sleeves. And then they also have like a barcode on the back. I assume this is for their organizational system or whatnot. So we will go ahead and run through my little photo card haul, but I am curious just to make sure that I did get all 40 photo cards. So I'm going to go through and count them really quick. 40. Yes, so all 40 photo cards are here. Very happy to know that everything made it here. And in case it wasn't obvious from the screen recording who my brand new collection is that I really want to get started on, it's obviously a Zero Base 1. You'll know, like I said, if you've been on the channel, that I have been super obsessed with this group, and I made the poor financial decision to finally pick them up officially and start pretty seriously collecting them, and Jiwoong specifically, and maybe a couple other members here and there. But with that said, we will go through and look at my little haul. I think I'm gonna go through and like pull all of the cards out from their sleeve, so then we can just kind of really quickly go boop 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 boop. So let me do that really quick. Alright, Alright, I got all of the sleeves taken off so that way we're not competing with the glare as we're trying to look through the photo cards, but we'll go ahead and get started. So, like it's pretty obvious, this is just a huge stack of 0 base 1 photo cards. I mostly got a mix of photo cards, so there is some album PCs, a couple of pre-order benefits, some event and like collaboration cards, some broadcast cards, so I think kind of a fun mix of cards to look through in like a photo card haul. And I will also have my Pocamarket app open on the side of me so I can remember specifically what card is which, so I'm not trying to guess because I know I would not get half of these cards right if I just guessed. I'm not that familiar with the stores and the pubs and the looks just yet. So, starting with this first one, this is the Jump Up card from the Digipack version of Youth in the Shade. It is so different to see Jung here with his dark hair because he's been rocking the blonde, and I love the blonde. I want him to keep it as long as he can, slash for as long as his hair can hold out for, because the blonde is so good for him right now, but it is so like different to see him with his darker hair in this photo card, and also from their very first album, Youth in the Shade. I feel like they've come such a long way in such a short amount of time. Alright, next up we have this one, which is from Soundwave. Very similar photo card. This one is actually a matte photo card. That one was a gloss one, but I feel like we don't often see matte photo cards anymore. But yeah, this is a matte photo card pop, again from Soundwave. Alright, next up we have an album photo card. This is the Digipack from Youth in the Shade. There's the front and the back. And actually, something I was curious about to see if it was true. I mean, it would be pretty scandalous if it wasn't true, but Pocamarket's like guarantee that the photo cards are in good condition. I kind of wanted to check those out, kind of specifically with album photo cards. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, maybe if I do it like that, see the light trick, but there honestly are no blemishes, there are no indents, there's kind of nothing on this card right now, which is amazing because I feel like when it comes to damage on photo cards, album photo cards are a little bit more susceptible to getting a little bit scratched up or a little bit dented because they're just shoved inside of the albums. So honestly, I'm super impressed that this card has like nothing on it. It looks like truly like a mint condition, like you pulled it straight from like the printing press. So honestly, super impressed. That like little condition of like we sell like really high quality, like good condition photo cards is true. Like I said, not that I didn't think it was super true, but it's always nice to see whether their claims hold up to be true. But moving on, we have another album photo card. This is the youth version from Youth in the Shade. So cute. I love the boyfriend hoodie tee look. We have kind of like a similar, besides this one, we're having like a similar color concept going on in these photo cards. So far, we're going through most of my Youth in the Shade photo cards that I got. I don't know if when they pulled them and like packaged these, if they put them in like a specific order or what, but yeah, we're kind of going through all of the Youth in the Shade photo cards first. So this is the Youth in the Shade Apple Music photo card. There's that front and back. Again, this is another cute boyfriend hoodie photo card. Alright, next up we have a finally different photo card. This is a Gunnock photo card. This is from the Zeros version from You Had Me at Hello. This was their little like polka album. And I honestly, like, I just couldn't pass up this Gunnock photo card. He is so cute here, balancing the pen between his nose and his lips and the little duck pout. Like, I couldn't resist, and this was $1. So how would anyone be able to resist, honestly? So picked up a little Gunnock photo card. Alright, the line of photo cards was getting a little bit skewed, so I adjusted it just slightly. But next up we have another Jung Youth in the Shade. We're back to Youth in the Shade. But we have this K-Town For You Lucky Draw in this black button-up t-shirt looking, not t-shirt, just button-up, button-up shirt looking super handsome with the cheek poke. We have another Youth in the Shade album card. This is the shade version. I think I was trying to knock off all of the album types for Youth in the Shade so I could have those marked off on my template. I think I did pick up all of the Youth in the Shade album photo cards. So yeah, there is the shade version. So we had Youth and Shade. And then we have the second shade version. Another outside concept. So pretty. All right, and then we have the iconic phone photocard Selka, whatever you want to call it, pop from K-Town For You. I loved this trend. I feel like a bunch of idols and different groups were doing this for a second for their pops. I don't know if I've seen it as much anymore, but I really loved when they were doing this. I think it's so fun and unique. So yeah, we have Jiwoong's Youth in the Shade K-Town For You version. Alright, and then next is a super exciting card. This is Matthew's Sweat broadcast card, and I honestly could not pass this up because it was fairly inexpensive for a broadcast card. And also, maybe if I just go ahead in the stack here, I also got Jiwoong's as well, and they were perfect together because they complete a heart when you put them side by side. And Matthew is a part of PALESTINE, and I love Pupsum together as a duo in 0 Base 1. They're kind of one of my favorite duos slash pairings. So I was like, I have to get them because they are so cheap and they're available together. Like, I had to pick them up. So normally I'm not one to get broadcast cards outside of like my main biases. Like for example, Bang Chan of Stray Kids is my alt bias and is my bias in Stray Kids. And so I only collect his broadcast cards when I'm collecting Stray Kids. Same with Jiwoong. I have a couple other Jiwoong broadcast cards, but like I said, I truly could not pass up getting this Matthew one because it just fits so well. And like I said, completes Jiwoong's heart here. But we'll give a little moment to the both of these. So there were actually 2 different Sweat broadcast cards. So I can't remember if they were split up between like week 1 or week 2, or it was just like they were handed out simultaneously, and then whichever one you got was the one that you had. But I do have Jiwoong's other Sweat broadcast on the way to me. I purchased it through someone on Instagram, so I will have both of the Jiwoong Sweat broadcast cards. There's those, super cute. Put those 2 cuties together. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Again, probably wouldn't have done that if they weren't just so incredibly cheap, to be honest. Alright, moving on to another Matthew photo card. This is another K-Town For You lucky draw, so these are from the same event slash set. So this is Matthew's poking his little cute little cheeks. Had to pick it up. I am so weak to Matthew. Love that boy. He is so adorable. I also picked up Matthew's K-Town For You phone pop as well. I honestly am tempted to collect OT9 for this set because it is so good. But for now, we have these 2. But yeah, it's really tempting to collect OT9 for this because it's so good. Alright, we have another Matthew card. I kind of forgotten how many Matthew photo cards I ended up picking up, but this is a Youth in the Shade Soundwave lucky draw. It looks like it's a little like tiger pose one. I think all the members would have it in the same set, and I like the detail of the claw marks here on the back. So yes, another Matthew photo card. Alright, next up I have these 2 Halbin photo cards, and I actually picked these up because I have the rest of these 7 members for this already. I actually bought the other 7 in a set, but the set I bought was missing Halbin, unfortunately. And I have been on the hunt for them since because I really wanted to collect OT9 for this set. I love the 4-leaf clover look, and I just feel like it's a little lucky OT9 set. So I have been on the hunt for these, but every time I see them on like Mercari Japan or elsewhere, they're always like $15+. And so when I found these on Pocamarket, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. They're a little bit more expensive than I would have liked to have paid, but I did pay I think I paid $10 for Hao and 9 for Hanbin, so not too bad for POBs that are probably in high demand for popular members. And also, now I finally have the Clover set finished, so honestly, shouldn't be complaining too much about this. Yes, here is Hao's card, and yes, this is from Melting Point. What was the store? These were from Jump Up as well, from the Melting Point Digipack lucky draw. So yep, there is Hao's, and then here is Hanbin's as well. Yay! Super excited to finally have these two with me. Alright, next up, it looks like we're moving into all of the Melting Point photo cards. This one is the Melting Point Photo Book K-Town For You Lucky Draw. And Jiwoong is holding this kind of like, I think it's cotton candy, right? It's like a cotton candy kind of treat, but it's like a little rolled candy treat. Super adorable. I always love a good prop photo card. Moving on to this very handsome varsity like college boyfriend look. This is a Melting Point Make Star Lucky Draw photo card. So there is the back of that. Here he is in his super cute glasses and Letterman jacket. He looks so like handsome and adorable. Next we have a You Had Me at Hello, and this is from Make Star's Polka album pre-order benefit, I believe. But he is here wearing one of the like lover boy hats, which went super trendy amongst the idols there for a hot minute. Alright, next up we have this collaboration card, and this is from Romantic Crown, who is like an apparel company slash brand, and they did a partnership with Zero Base One. So yes, this is Jiwoong's like benefit card. The back of this one is matte, and then the front is like a little gloss photo card. But looks like we have another Matthew Pob next. This is from Youth in the Shade. This is a Soundwave Pob. I think it's the partner to this Jiwoong here, because this one isn't also because this is also another matte photo card, and I believe this was also Soundwave. So here is Matthew's version of that. So pretty. I always love me a good outside concept photo card. And then we have another Matthew photo card. This is another Youth in the Shade, and this is from the Digipack Jump Up event pre-order benefit. I don't know, it just says Digipack version Jump Up. So giving you a nice big thumbs up here. Oh, probably the partner slash match to that Jiwoong there. Alright, next up we have this 2023 FanCon trading card, the paper heart, and then there is a little message on the back. I kind of want to collect OT9 for this set with the paper hearts because I think it's super fun. And honestly, if I wanted to do another order from Pocamarket, I would probably like buy all the rest of them from them, because this one was pretty cheap. This was like a $2 photo card, $3 once the fee was added in, so honestly not bad. Or I would probably look on Mercari Japan to see if like there was a set of them for sale. But yeah, I do think it would be fun to collect like an OT9 set from one of the trading card sets. Alright, it took me a second to figure out where this one was from, but this is the Youth in the Shade Digipack version from K-Town For You. Super cute. He kind of looks a bit like startled here, like a little bit like surprised, like, oh, I just took a selfie. That's kind of what that reminds me of. And then we have this Melting Point K-Town For You card, another Melting Point Pob, and this is from Apple Music. There is the back, a nice cute pink color there. I love that. But yeah, he just looks so cute here. Super nice close up, super smiley. Love it. I feel like I'm kind of a broken record going through these photo cards of like, oh, so cute. Oh, love it. But like, what else is there to say, really? All right, one more Melting Point Pop. This is the Music Plant headphone Pob there. There's the back of that. But yeah, good old wired headphone Pob. We have another Matthew photocard. This is the Youth in the Shade Apple Music. There is that one. Okay, we have another Jump Up Melting Point Pop. This is from the Digipack. I thought this was one of the school looks cards because they also have kind of like an academic theme to them. So I was like, wait, did I buy 2 of these cards? But I didn't. This is, again, Jump Up. It says it there. I always love me a good like academic school uniform glasses kind of look. Although this one, I don't know, the coloring looks like a little, I don't think it's fake because I feel like they would not sell fake photo cards. I think this is just how it looks. But the saturation on this card is like pretty dull looking. It's kind of interesting. It looks like they took like the saturation bar and just went like, I don't know, it's just like not as super vibrant as like kind of like the rest of the cards here. Very interesting. Next, we have another melting point. This is the Beat Road Lucky Draw. He's in the same outfit as he is down here. But yeah, this was a Beat Road Lucky Draw for, it says the photo book and digipack, so it must have been an event for both of those same album types. Alright, this now, I realized after I bought this card that I actually already have this card. So this is just the 2024 Season's Greetings card. There is like a pre-order benefit that looks very, very similar to this card and this look. And I think I thought in my mind that's what I was buying, but I wasn't. So now I have a duplicate card of this because I think this is the card that just comes in like the normal Season's Greetings. So I will have to figure out what to do with the extra card of that. Okay, so next we have a Melting Point M2U photo card. I'm not sure what M2U is. I don't know if it was like an event or if it's in a store. I should probably should have looked that up beforehand, but yes, so we have this card as well. Alright, we have another Romantic Crown card. So there is the back of that one. Super fun with the doodles and like the personal message. So yeah, it must have been another round / collaboration of Romantic Crown. Alright, getting into another You Had Me at Hello. This is an album card. This is the Eclipse version for the album. I think this was the only card of Jiwoong's from You Had Me at Hello that I was missing. So I figured may as well pick this up so I could get You Had Me at Hello completed. Alright, we have another brand collaboration card, and this is an OT9 unit card from Clean. So there is the back of that and this, and I actually did not know this beforehand, but this is like a PVC, like plastic, like shiny card. Like it reminds me of the old Lucky Draws, just with like, you know, a gloss finish that we used to have back in the day of K-pop. I feel like Lucky Draws, like PVC Lucky Draws, just like aren't a thing anymore. They're just like normal like album paper materials. I do kind of miss that. I do like a tactile, hardy photo card, but anyway, so I was very, very surprised when I was pulling this out of the sleeve and realized it was not a normal photo card material. But yeah, so I will go ahead and give you a close-up again of this, of the OT9 set, or card I mean. So fun. Alright, continuing on with the brand collaboration. This is a Medipeel X Zero Base 1. I think that they're like a skin beauty brand sort of company that they did a collaboration with. So I know there are a couple photo cards from this collaboration, but this is just one of them for now. There is the front and back of that one. Looks super good in this bright red little jumper here. Alright, we are down to the last 3 photo cards, and each of these are unit photo cards. So the first unit we have is this one from Yura Yura, which was their Japanese first single. This is Ricky and Jung's unit card. I have quite a number of the other unit cards, and I am probably going to collect all of the unit cards for Yura Yura. So I was missing this one, and this was literally $2, and I thought, why the heck not? Let's go ahead and pick this one up, and wow, what a feast for the eyes with these two. Dangerous, dangerous duo. The next unit photo card we have is a album one. It is from You Had Me at Hello, the Eclipse version. So we have Jung and Gyuvin here. And then last but not least, we have another You Had Me at Hello unit. This is Hanbin and Ricky. Again, could not pass up getting this unit card of these two. Love them together. Such a fun pairing. But with that, that was our entire Pocamarket haul. That was all 40 of my photo cards that I got this time around. Overall though, I am super happy with the haul and the cards and the condition of the cards that I received them in. So next thing before we go ahead and wrap up this video is I wanted to run through some numbers and some final thoughts with you. I put together a spreadsheet that we're going to go ahead and look through and be totally transparent with, but I put together a spreadsheet and I totaled up the amount of money that I spent during this whole endeavor, how much I spent to fill up my wallet, how much I spent on the photo cards, the averages of the photo cards, and the fees that I paid, because I do think that is a good basis to kind of look at this experience and be like, do I think it's worth it? Do I think it was too overpriced? So, and that's kind of, I think, the real test. As much as it is fun to go through a giant haul of photo cards, at the end of the day, I do feel like it is the cost breakdown that really makes an endeavor like this worth it. So I will just really quickly gather up my haul of photo cards here so we have some space for me to pull out my laptop, and then like I said, we will go through my spending breakdown and I will give you my final thoughts as to what I truly think about Pocamarket from, you know, like a consumer business standpoint. So give me just a second here to get that set up. Okay, so here is my spreadsheet. I went ahead and split it up into a few different areas, and I'll run through and break down each of these highlighted numbers. This first section is detailing the photo card listing breakdowns. I have what is the base price of the photo card, how much I paid for in fees, and then what the total for the base and fee equal to, and what was my final total for that specific photo card. As you can see, I have 41 photo cards listed here, and that's because even though I didn't ship out that duplicate card I accidentally purchased, I did buy it at the same time as I was doing everything else for this video, so I thought it would be good to include it for the numbers. Additionally, down in this section, I also categorized and color-coded the dollar amount of each photo card and totaled up how many of each I purchased, with the most purchased dollar amount being $2 and the least being between $10 and $19. So let's take a closer look at these number totals. The total amount that I spent for my 41 photo cards, including fees, was $261.85 USD. That means the base price total was $195.50, and I paid $66.35 in fees. And if we look down at the averages, the average base price of a photo card was $4.77. I on average paid $1.62 for fees, and the total price of a photo card on average was $6.39. I feel like the averages get a little bit skewed because I did have two above $20 photo cards, so I think I did unintentionally skew the numbers just a little bit, but also maybe this is a good example of if you decide to splurge on a higher end photo card, what that kind of does to your average and kind of your spending for like a 40 batch of photo cards. Alright, so overall, looking at this, $261.85 for just photo cards is a little bit high. I do think it could be worse because everything could always be worse, but given that 1/4 of this total was fees alone, I feel like maybe it's not the total worst, but this is just looking at the price of the photo cards themselves. We have to remember, we're only looking at the photo card breakdown for right now. So with that being said, let's look over to the real mess, which was the total amount I paid overall with the shipping and loading of my wallet. So this section breaks down the amount of times I loaded my wallet and what dollar amount I loaded was for each time with the fees and my total. So for this set of cards and shipping, I loaded my wallet 6 different times and spent a total of $342.40. Now, that is not a small number by any means. I totally recognize the privilege of being able to drop that amount of money on photocards at a singular time. I'm not regularly dropping that amount of money on photocards, nor am I even doing it monthly. So looking at the number for one batch of photocards does seem a little bit much, especially when you count into the fact that I was only able to access 315 of that $342 because the rest of it was fees. And also when you factor in that I basically paid $50 for shipping, looking at the overall, if I paid $195 for 41 cards, including fees, purchasing, and shipping costs, I feel like that would be a deal, like that would be totally worth it. But instead, I paid about triple that and paid the $342 for this order. Again, I really do think it was all the fees and the processing and all the little extra add-ons that really get you and that really add up. And I feel like these numbers here really help to back up that case. I also wanted to do a little hypothetical down here. This scenario is if you bought 40 photo cards that were 3 total, which would be the $2 base price with a $1 fee. I went with this price instead of a $1 card because most of my bought price range was a $2 base plus an additional $1 fee. And I feel like you can find a lot of desirable cards for $3 total. So if you bought 40 photo cards at $3 each and you ship it using K-Packet to the US, which runs you $31.90 in cost, you will need at least $151.90 loaded into your wallet. And to do that, if you're starting from scratch, starting from a zero baseline, you would need to load your wallet at least 3 different times. If you are just looking to get as close as you can to the total number, because unfortunately you can't just put in a customized wallet amount, you would have to do a $100 charge, a $50 charge, and then a $10 charge with the actual total payment here off to the side, giving you $160 in your wallet. That means though you would have $8.10 left in your wallet that would be extra that you paid for, and then would just kind of have to figure out what to do with it afterwards. For that specific scenario, I think that is actually a pretty solid deal. It is still a chunk of money, but maybe you could try to split up the wallet over a couple of months, work up to pay the first $100 charge, wait a month or so in between, load in your $50 and $10, and then you can make your PC purchases and then ship it out all at the same time. So then it's not quite a commitment right up front. And I will say that is the nice thing about Pocamarket right now, is that there is no current storage timeline. So you don't have to be super speedy in filling up your wallet or filling up your collection or spending the money in your wallet, because you have the chance to take it slow and try to make the most out of your money that you're spending, because they don't give you a 30-day storage limit or a 40-day storage limit. Like I said, it's just kind of there until you decide to ship it out. So in that regard, it does seem like a worthwhile endeavor. And like I said, you can find a ton of really cheap and good and in-demand PCs for $2, $3, $1. It's really easy to go through your different groups and the different photo cards that they have and find really good deals for really popular cards. So yeah, I think this scenario is probably pretty plausible. Alright, so that was my spreadsheet. That's all I had to run through with you. I do hope that this was helpful to you and that it was good to see the numbers for how much I spent. I did want to be really transparent about that, so I don't mind showing how much I spent for this. And again, I realize that it was not a small amount of money that I spent, but I'm often not spending like this, so... And it's for a video, it's for the kind of educational purposes in a way. But yeah, I do hope breaking it down like this was really helpful in getting a gauge of how much an order on Pocamarket can be. And the last thing I want to do is I want to let you know whether or not I think Pocamarket is worth it and my final thoughts. So, if you were to ask me if I recommend Pocamarket, my answer would be Maybe. I feel like I don't really have a definitive answer because I feel like I could see myself going back and using the service again and placing another order and filling up my wallet, but I can also see myself being okay with having this be my one and only experience and continuing my shopping elsewhere because there are both pros and cons to Pocamarket, and I'm just not sure at this point which outweighs the other. Some of the pros that I would highlight of Pocamarket is one, the unlimited storage time, which I keep saying over and over and over. Very rarely do you find that in services like this, and I think it's really outstanding that they do that. I kind of worry about how long that they may be doing that. It may be a temporary thing because they even say as like a caveat on their website that there is kind of unlimited storage until things change. But for now, I do think the unlimited storage is a really big pro. The new account rewards, I think that is a really great incentive for trying out Pocamarket and seeing if you like it or not. I think the free shipping is really a good option, especially because after spending loads and loads on fees just buying the photocards, the least thing you want to do is to purchase high shipping with high processing fees. So I do like that they have new account rewards. I really love the quality checking and guarantee good quality photocards. I think that is super amazing as well. Some cards are a really great deal. I do have to admit that. Like, you can find some pretty in demand or some really popular cards for I feel like a pretty competitive price, and or you may be able to find a card that you've been looking for that is lower than you've ever seen before. Like, for example, both of those Halbin cards, I have been looking for those two for a very long time, and like I said, I would never see them below $15 on each platform I would look for until I got to Pocamarket, and because they were below what I always saw them at, that's when I finally decided, like, okay, yes, I will purchase these cards from Pocamarket. So I do think some cards are a really great deal, and it is kind of crazy to find like 50 cent, $1, $2 photo cards and be able to like routinely buy those with lots of different groups and like on a daily basis. Like, it's not like the $1 photo card is a special deal that they hold every now and then. It's like that's just a deal that you could buy any day of the week, which is something I think you could really take advantage of. And lastly, I really enjoy and I really appreciate that they seem to be constantly working on their interface and that they're adding updates all the time, that they're adding different features and browsing options, different filters. Like, I just think that they seem to be, I don't know if listening, because I don't know if they really garner feedback, but it does seem like they are trying to proactively make the site and like make the app as best as it can be. And even in this time of me filming this video, I've seen update after update after update in which more things have changed and for the better. So I think it's really great that they're really on top of that and constantly striving to be better than they were before. Now, for the cons, I feel like the biggest one that I've said over and over is the abundance of fees. I feel like they really got to streamline their fees just a little bit. I know that's kind of asking a lot from a business to be like, hey, can you streamline your fees because it's too expensive? But I do think I do think that they probably could streamline their fees, at least for the transaction fees for the photo cards. Again, when we were looking at the photo cards, I don't really understand why photo cards above a certain threshold take a 30% hit, and then depending on how valued the photo card is, you could be spending 5, 10, 15, 20, up to thousands of dollars in fees. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's something that I really do think is a con. Fees very easily eat away at the funds that you load onto your wallet. And I do think it is unrealistic to think that they could never have fees because every sort of platform has fees like this. But I do think having a more streamlined and or a more set fee price would really settle that that qualm I have with them. If it was, a $2 fee for every transaction, I would be on board with it. Or, for every photo card in between $1 and $5, it's a $1 fee. Between $5 and $10, it's a $3 fee. Maybe having like a sliding scale kind of fee system instead of a percentage, but I don't know. That's just kind of my big bone to pick with them, is just their abundance of fees. Another con that I think that they should work on or maybe figure out a solution but the money that you load onto your wallet and then choose not to spend is not transferable. The only way that you can get money back that you put onto your wallet is if you don't make a transaction within 7 days of putting money into your account. You can ask for a refund, but say you put in $10, you ended up only using $3, that $7 is sitting in your Pocamarket wallet for like the end of time. Like, Pocamarket has your money, they took your money, and they're not giving it back to you. And that's something I feel like you have to be very strategic about, especially if you're like, I'm going to try Pocamarket once and that's going to be my only time to use them, because you don't want to have like a balance left over that's like a high amount just sitting there that you can't use and don't want to access. That is something that I'm like, can you really not give give that money back? Like, I know for Nyokio, like if you put money into your account or you get like refunded for a canceled transactions, you're able to transfer that money back to you. And I think that's really nice and shows that they like trust and appreciate their customers. But yeah, I do think it is a little weird that you can't get the money back that you put into your wallet. Like, it really is like you just handed over your money to Pocamarket and it's up to you to try and make that money worthwhile for you. Within that same vein though, I do think it's a con for the same reason of like not being able to get money back from your wallet, is not being able to customize the amount of money that you put into the wallet. I'm not sure why you have to be within a set money amount, like why you have to do $5 or $10, or why you can't just put in like $10.35. Like, being able to customize and put in the specific dollar amount that you need, I'm not sure why that isn't an option. Maybe it's because of the whole fee system and because of the transaction, but I do think that would help with the case of the previous con bullet point, because if you could put in any dollar amount that you needed, then you wouldn't have extra money just hanging around in your Pocamarket account, like needing to be done or you never seeing it again. I put this as a con, though I don't really know if it really is a con, but I mean, I guess it is, kind of depending on how much you're using Pocamarket and if you're like an active user of it. But the 40 card ship limit is a little bit weird. I feel like you could definitely up that to like 50 or 100 even. Maybe like capping it at 100 like makes the most sense. You would have to up shipping prices probably, but I do think 40 is an odd number to limit it to. I definitely think that you could increase it and you would still get customers and it would still be okay and people would still pay for shipping. So yeah, I would add the 40 card limit to a con. And then the last thing I had as a con that I could think of was not having a cart system, but they have proved me wrong. That has been remedied within the last couple of days. So that is actually no longer a con. That's something that they actually did implement before I could even talk about. And that's something I'm really happy about, because I do think it'll make browsing and shopping a lot more easier, because you can load everything that you want to into your cart all at once, and then you can see how much you need to load into your wallet to pay for said items, which I think is super helpful instead of going one by one trying to figure that out yourself. So I feel like that about wraps up my thoughts on Pocamarket. I think I've kind of decided that my general overview of them is pretty neutral. I don't feel too strongly like one way or another, because I like didn't hate the experience and I found myself really enjoying and loving a lot of aspects of it. But there are those pros and cons that I talk about, and I do feel like they kind of outweigh each other like along the way. So yeah, I feel pretty neutral with them. I do think that this was probably a little bit pricier than I would have imagined. I'm really curious if like I could have found some of these photo cards a little bit cheaper and or like in sets, say on like Mercari Japan, and if that would have helped like cost wise. Like if I would have spent a little less or maybe like broken even if I tried to find sets rather than buying individually. I don't know, I think paying almost $350 for 40 photo cards does seem a bit outrageous. It's a little hard to make that call right now. Something I think Pocamarket would be really great for is if you are someone who hosts group orders. I think Pocamarket would be like the perfect space to do group orders, like, because that way you could split all the fees and all like the transactions and all the like loading of the wallet amongst other people, so it would be less of a burden on you to like just do all of that and like pay all that yourself. But if like you get like together with a group of friends, or you like hold a group order for the community, and you only buy like a couple cards for you, and then everyone else also only buys a couple cards because again you have that 40 card ship limit. But if everyone just buys like 3 to 5 cards here and then, I feel like that's super worthwhile, like the amount of money that you'll pay, and will again also help with the cost a lot. Like I think holding group orders for Pocamarket seems really smart if you're just looking for like a couple cards and like wanting them for super cheap. I feel like that could work out really well in your favor. I'm sure Pocamarket group orders exist. I just like haven't run across them because Instagram's algorithm and like tagging system is worthless now. But honestly, I kind of would be interested to see how a Pocamarket group order would run. Maybe if I'm feeling into it one day and I'm only looking for like a couple of cards, but I don't want to spend, you know, an exorbitant amount of money, maybe I'll try and host like a Pocamarket Go and kind of see how that goes and how the prices and the money spent changes. That might be interesting to do like a follow-up video or something on. But yeah, I think my final thoughts are, as I feel pretty neutral about Pocamarket. They have some really great features. They have a lot of fees that you need to watch out for. I think that it doesn't hurt to try them out and to use them and see if you like it. And I think it's totally okay to pass and say, this is not for me, I'm probably good. But with that being said, I think that's going to be it for me. This video is probably getting pretty long and it's probably been very talkative, but I do hope that this was helpful for you, either if you were kind of looking for like a how-to guide on how to use Pocamarket, or if you were looking for like a review and kind of some thoughts from someone who doesn't have any affiliation with them. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I will do my best to get back to you and answer as best as I can. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you and sitting through these kind of longer, more talkative sort of videos. And yeah, I just really hope you enjoyed and learned something, or you just kind of had fun hanging out with me. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Bye!